David Rutz here, David Allen Capital. We just finished up a broker overview and for prospective brokers. And there's like prerequisites to succeed in our business, and I'm going to be going through them later. But the most important one is just some willingness and some determination, and you believe what we believe. If you've got a belief of what we believe, then all you're doing is sharing that belief with business owners, and that belief is that we help them, and they're rock stars. And unfortunately, banks can't help all of them. Sometimes we have money for them that's a great fit. Sometimes we don't. We don't judge that. We just offer it. And then if they want to apply and they get an offer, and they have a use of funds that supports that, and the benefit of that use will be more than the cost, they should take it, because then it's leverage. If the benefit's going to be less, then they shouldn't, because then it's debt. But we believe in leverage, not debt. So we're here to lever, be like a tool, a lever, where they can use other people's money and make a lot more money. That's what we're doing. So if you believe that, and then you have some determination to get out there and succeed, and a willingness to have conversations to inform, you're going to win. If you don't have those are prerequisites. If you don't have the belief, you shouldn't be involved. If you're not willing to have conversations, you shouldn't be involved. And if you're not, because you're not an active broker. It's if I'm not willing to go to the gym, I shouldn't buy a membership, right? It's common sense. So it's the same thing here. Now, one caveat here is you may say, I'm not willing to get a lot of clients. However, I'll get some, but I do believe in it all. But I just see myself more as a team leader and coach than a personal customer getter. Okay. Our comp plan rewards you for that. If you build an agency and they do well, even if you've not gotten a lot of clients yourself, you make that 4% minimum on their override. Now, you can make a lot more if you got clients. That's your call. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You just make less. But you always make that minimum 4% on every broker you personally enroll. So you go out and find 10 or 20 real good brokers. It's like having 10 or 20 income properties that you earn on every month, right? So every broker you refer here is like an investment property that you own. Now, you don't own the person, of course, but it's an income stream that you have access to and ownership, and it survives you. It's willable and sellable. So if you had a productive team of brokers and they're getting, it's just like a state farm agency or a real estate agency or a mortgage agency, you can sell that. Right. Or if something were to happen to you, that stays in your family. It's not a job where if you die, your income stops. If you die and you've got a business growing here, guess what? Your business succeeds you and continues to whoever is in your family. Right. However, everything else, every other asset you have. So you're building a business here. And so whether you want to get a lot of personal clients or you want to build a big productive team, we're okay with both. And the people who do both make a lot more. The people who do just one, solo brokers, they can make great money by getting clients themselves. The other people build just I'm going to build a team and I'm going to earn 4% of all their bonus revenue. They can do well, but if they could get clients as well, they'd get a lot more. So we say lead by example. Now, if someone doesn't believe in our funding, they shouldn't build a team, right? They shouldn't talk to clients. Then it's salesy. It's not authentic. We want you to be authentically here. I'm not reading a script. I don't have a template to talk to you about today. I didn't even know I was going to start with this. So this is just coming from the heart of what we believe about our business is critical. And if you believe it and you've got determination and willingness, those prerequisites, you believe in the beliefs, you have determination and willingness, you're going to have success here. Now, there's other prerequisites you'll learn, and we're going to talk about them a little later. But I'm going to share my screen again. We've got another program. Let's get this up here again. Okay, monthly meeting, announcements, specials, and training. I want to stick on schedule. So here's the agenda. I've got some announcements I'm going to go through. Then we're going to bring on Wade Cordell, our funding specialist. He's my partner, and he literally has helped thousands of clients. If you've ever met someone who's done thousands of mortgages, you think they pretty much own it. Thousands of homes sold, they pretty much know it. He's literally done thousands of business fundings. He's going to be talking to you about funding. Broker leader training, Melon Wynn, she's got a subject. Nick DeHame, another broker leader, is going to be talking tonight. I'm going to end with an income growth strategy, and then we're going to go to your questions and comments. All right, that's the speaker's order. So Wade, stand on by. I'll be done in about 10 minutes, and then Ellen and then Nick will be following, and then myself. Okay, so open announcements. First of all, you've heard this, but some of you are coming. You haven't been on any of our stuff. Spanish site is live. Maybe you can read that. Maybe you can't. But how do you get there? It's only the Bank Breezy site that is replicated in a Spanish site. You can see in the upper right-hand corner there, there's a little Spanish flag in the upper right-hand corner of the website. You could click that. So they could go to your regular site and click that and it'll translate, or you can send them directly there. If they're Spanish speaking, send them directly to the Spanish site, which is bankbreezy.com/ES for Espanol /your ID number. That way it's replicated to you. And then your name would be here in the middle. Right now I've got the dummy DAC corporate one there, but your name would be there. Then they can read, and same thing with the mobile site. So that is live. You can send any of your Puerto Rican friends, or because we're in Puerto Rico now as well, any of your Spanish is their first language, send them a Spanish site. They'll say thank you. All right, that's live now. We also have Spanish print materials and cards in the site. The LMS was updated with the resources. Now look on the bottom there. It says first time logging in. One of our top questions is, I'm trying to log into the LMS. I don't know how. If it's your first time logging in, see what it says there? Your LMS account is already created. You don't have to create one. However, you do need to set up a password. So to do this, see what it says there? Click the link in the LMS invitation email you received when you joined DAC. Your username is your broker ID number, right? You got that in your welcome email. Now, you'll need that to create your password. Once you give your broker ID, you create a password, you're in. But some people go, I can't find that email. So what's it say there? No sweat. Can't find the email? Simply do a password reset. You can do a password reset by clicking the blue link right there, right? Not on this presentation because this is a slideshow, but on the website, you go to dactraining.com, that's the LMS, and log in for the first time. If you don't have it, Tyler did a great job making where they do a password reset right there. If you will need to enter your broker ID, so you need to make sure you know that. Broker ID. Okay, you got it. It's in your welcome email. Once you get into the LMS, there's a lot of opportunities on the top. Course list is where your certification will be, and your course list will only show your certification until you're certified. Then you'll see others. But what I wanted to show you tonight is resources. We've moved resources into the LMS. All right. So if you click on that resources, it'll give you a page that looks something like this. It's actually got more stuff, but I wanted to hone in on these. If you're wanting to look at business funding brochures and training, you click on business funding in the middle, payment processing over there. We've got other things here. Got to move my Zoom bar. Team building training, print shop. If you want to go into the print shop to order postcards, etc. DAC merch store. If you want to get a DAC hat, shirt, Bank Breezy merch store, Bank Breezy hat, shirt. One day they may be combined. It's the same company, but right now they're two separate links. Healthcare, to go to the HealthShare site. Logos and branding information is under the logos and branding. You want to download a logo for your use. Company policies and procedures and pay plan. And of course, one of the modules is pay plan. I suggest you watch the pay plan modules. You got to get certified first. But until then, you got the pay plan docs. And then March Madness. The new national championship is also there. That's where you can click on that and get all your information. So we just want you to know the LMS is now here. The print shop's got the new drop cards in it now. And it's also got the Spanish Bank Breezy cards. Look at that. 500 cards is only $95, to hand out their drop cards, your QR code and your name on the back. Make sure you look at it before you print, because there's no refunds. You proof it yourself. You get a PDF right there to look at. Make sure you put in your ID number and stuff correctly. We're not the printer. We also don't blame them. If you type in your information wrong and they print it and ship it, they've got real costs. They're not making a whole lot on these. And so unfortunately, they can't refund your money if you make an error there, right? So just be mindful of that. And that is your print shop and LMS. Next announcement, local leadership. Local leadership is our foundation. Our competitive advantage is local. If you're going online, I was talking to a owner of one of the funding companies last week, and we were talking about why David Allen Capital has the advantage over every other funder out there. First of all, Bank Breezy, one stop, multiple offers. But until a client applies, they don't care about that. Until they know, they don't care. And if you're calling them over the phone, it's going to be harder. If you're texting a different area code, it's going to be harder. How do you know? Because you get called all the time too. And most of us have learned to just turn off the noise. But local, talking to people in your town, it's so much easier. Now, two of our top producing brokers live in another country. They're from New Jersey, Matt and Nick DeHame. You're going to hear from Nick in a moment. They have to work through the telephone and text and email because they live in Argentina. Right? They're from Jersey, they're US citizens, but they've been living in Argentina with their family for a little while. And so they call back to the United States. They still do very well. You can do well, but local is your competitive advantage. So we've got an email local leader journey that we just started. If you sign up for it, you learn how to lead a market, one market at a time. You get one email a day for 10 days just for the local leaders, just for signing up. There's no cost for this. And then each email has a system education in it, some strategy, and some homework. Do it. Don't fall behind on it. Okay. It'll come out the moment you sign up, which is just dacleader.com to subscribe. If you go to dacleader.com, subscribe, name, email address, etc., you'll get an email right away welcoming you. The next day you'll get a vision of the leadership a little more. Then each day you're going to get another email 24 hours from the time you sign up. So mine comes in at 9 o'clock at night. That's when I signed up. And then I just wait and read it in the morning. Right. But I've saved them all, and you should do the same. I wrote them all, but I do save them all as well because I review them, and you should do the same. It becomes your own little training book, 10 emails. Then that's going to culminate in a workshop, which we're doing our first one well, not our first one, but we're doing the first one like we're doing here next Tuesday night. We're doing it, the workshop for those who've gone through the journey. So if you haven't started the journey, start. You'll be most of the way through by next Tuesday. 1/10/26, we're doing this at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. We're starting it an hour later for the West Coasters. We got a lot of people on the West Coast who are local leaders. So 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., 30 minutes of content, 30 minutes of Q&A. Okay, so we're going to be more brief, 30 minutes of content, 30 minutes of Q&A. We're assuming you've been through the email journey, though. So make sure you go through that email journey. If you're not already a part of it, do so. We want more local leaders. Next thing, the February funding special. Say what? Yeah, business funding built for the business trades. That is our funding special for February. Check this out. Higher approvals, lower repayment costs, and larger prepayment discounts. Thank you, Wade Cordell. That was his biggest addition to this, is not only helping to determine it's the trades, but working to get larger prepayment discounts. A lot of these trades don't need the money for the full term. They need to buy materials, supplies, do the job, and they just need it till they get paid for the job. Right? So sometimes they don't need it for a year. Sometimes they only need it for 4 months, 5 months. So prepayment discounts matter to the trades. Higher approvals, lower repayment costs for the month of February for the trades. When your bank can't help, we can. That's what the brochure looks like. By the way, this is what the brochure looks like. This is in your resource center already. And here's what the rest of the brochure looks like for them. It says some ideas of what they can buy on the left. It also says what their offers are based on. It talks about our one application best offer in the bottom left there. And then on the right, it's got the pricing. So they see what the pricing is going to be, what the qualifications are. We give some examples in there. And then the big question at the bottom, do the benefits outweigh the cost? You don't have to, there's no arguing. I literally met with 3 banks today, and not one of them has an issue with our pricing. They all get it. And they all love the fact that we say, hey, we're going to find the best offer. We don't determine it. We're helping the people you can't help, which we understand. The business understands, but they don't always have good needs. So if they don't have a good idea or good use of funds, then they shouldn't take any money, right? But when they do, the cost is irrelevant. Cost is a abstract. Benefit is what you want to focus on. Benefit. There's an opportunity cost of not opening that patio for that Mexican restaurant I talked about earlier. The opportunity cost was about $600,000 a year in revenue that she didn't have without the patio. The opportunity, it wasn't 50 grand it cost her, it was 600 grand she gained every year since, right? That's how you want to look at this. It's rare that a business is in the ability, it has the inability to grow their company. They may not have the idea yet. So you ask them. When I asked that health food company if she ever thought about auto shipping her product from her retail store, it blew her mind. Blew her mind. And that's probably a $15,000 thing. And she'd start each month with probably $10,000, $20,000 with sales that she otherwise wouldn't have. Her customers would love it. They don't have to drive to her store. They're going to Amazon right now instead of her, even though she's the one who told them about the product and why they should have the product. And right? She's the expert. So there's your funding product. Now here's your little education on it. This is one brochure in your back office under the resource center. I'm sorry, in the resource center, not your back office. In the resource center under business funding, you will see February funding special. And it's got this little build your prospect list. Last year, we called it a memory jogger, because it was health clubs. Today, it's build your prospect list. Well, higher approvals, lower repayment costs, larger prepayment discounts. Those are all the type industries. But look at the bottom there. The bottom says if they get paid to fix, build, install, or improve residential or commercial properties, they are in the trades. All right. So all of those businesses are considered trades. But look at the game plan. I would print this out so you have the simple daily plan. All right. Lay the groundwork. We use a lot of play on words here, obviously, for the trades, but lay the groundwork. Okay. Build a list of every trades business in your town. First of all, start with the ones you know and just reach out to them. You see here halfway down, I got a little script, but plant the foundation, 5+ reach outs per day just to trades. Frame the relationship, introduce yourself, educate, share the special, don't pitch, right? This is, you're reaching out to some of these people you know, but what does it say there? I got to put my glasses on, but hey, you don't know me directly, but I just want to introduce myself. I'm local and I help trade businesses with funding. We come alongside the banks and help when they won't or they can't. So we've got a February funding special for all the trades right now. And I just wanted to call and tell you about it. Would it be okay if I sent you some information to look at, consider in case an opportunity ever came along or a need ever arose? That's it. I talked to someone today and I asked him, I said, what did you say to this banker to meet with us today? He said, I sent him the bank flyer. I said, take a look at this and then call me and let's talk. Now he knew him. That's all he did was take our banking flyer, send it. You could take this construction flyer and just send it to everyone you know in the trades. If you know them well enough, you could just say, hey, you own a bricklaying business. I want to send you this just in case. Take a look at it and let's talk. Send them the brochure. It's your buddy. You can say that to a buddy. That's what he said to get that meeting with the bank, who then said, I'm going to refer you a bunch of traffic, right? So when I say traffic, bunch of clients who need business funding. So we give you a sample script here, but here's the key thing. Be authentic. If you can't say, hey, take a look at this and then let's talk, then don't say that. Jim could. What can you say? I don't know what you could say. Hey, I care about you and your business and you do great things for our community. I want you to know about this. I don't know. Is that you? Be authentic. That script that you have there isn't to be read. It's an example. It's what I say. You don't know me directly. I just want to introduce myself because I really do. I really do want to get to know business owners. I really do want to make sure they know about our type of capital for if and when anything ever comes up. I want them to know because I didn't, and I had to sell my company. I had to sell a company I gave my blood, sweat, and tears to for 8 years. My dad was an owner. My mom was an owner. Friends were owners. And we had to sell it because we couldn't afford the growth. We weren't losing money. We were growing. We had to sell it. That bothered me when he couldn't get bank funding. The only way to not sell it was give up control. That's not fun. That's not fun. So I have a passion to help business owners because I've lived that. Now, you may not, that's authentic to me to say, I just want to introduce, that's authentic for me. What's authentic for you? I don't know. But don't badger the banks because they're great people and they've got great products and they're not going to help you talk to their clients if they want you to support their clients, if they trust you. So be authentic with them, but reach out to some construction trades here. That document is a two-part document. One's the brochure, and one is the checklist and kind of like the little five-step plan there to go promote. So it's here till end of February. That means they got to be applied by the end of February, February 28th. It's a short month, but trades are gearing up for the spring. This is the time to do it. And the average funding here is over $100,000, by the way. The trades on average are well over $100,000, and some of them get our 100% prepayment discount. If you're not familiar with that product yet, 100% prepayment discount simply says that if they pay it off early, they don't owe any of the rest of the interest and they don't have to pay a penalty on it. So if they get 100,000, they agree to pay back 130 over a year, and they pay it back over in 2 months, they don't owe any more of the extra amount. Whatever they paid is done. They just pay the principal. That's unheard of in our space. It's hard to qualify for, but if they're doing $20,000 a month, have a 680 FICO score in business at least 2 years, they probably qualify for it. Unless there's something else we don't know about. But if they have those requirements, they probably qualify. So lead with the trades, the February funding special, the building trades. We love them. We can't live in homes and buildings without them, and they really come to service us. So a lot of them want to expand their territories. A lot of them want to do new jobs. That's probably the one thing, is they got a lot of jobs to do and need to buy the supplies. Got to say no unless they have the supplies. Can't say yes to a job unless you can afford the crew and afford the materials and the equipment. So you got to have the money to buy the stuff. All right. March Madness. That's one more thing. I'll be done in one more minute here. I'm going to be ending tonight with a strategy, an income strategy, but we're going to talk March Madness. This is going on. Started January 15th. Who's going to become our national champion? Earn points, win big prizes, get ready for the madness. What is March Madness? This is in the brochure. DAC Broker March Madness Challenge is a leadership competition where each broker can earn points for doing what grows their business the right way, getting clients and enrolling brokers and helping those brokers succeed. That's how you get points. The strategy to win is do what you're supposed to do to help your business grow. This isn't busy work. It's momentum building activity that compounds. Brokers advance through elimination rounds. Yes, based on total points earned, just like the March Madness basketball tournament. The only difference is you're not going to be going up against one person. There's a qualification period. It started January 15th. It goes till February 28th. You could be brand new today and be in our top 64 because you don't get to count any of your old clients. If they renew, doesn't count. If your old brokers, the ones you recruited before the 15th, do anything, doesn't count toward this. This only counts fresh slate, who you've recruited new since January 15th, and any new clients you've submitted since January 15th. Those are the only ones that count in points. So you could be a grand poobah like Ellen Wynn and have all kinds of success and a big team. She's starting with even slate, just like all of you, just like me. I may not make the top 64, right? So there's no guarantee. A brand new people can come in. They have a warm market. They have a lot of clients they can talk to, do all kinds of big fundings and get a lot of points. Some of our older brokers have already talked to most of their clients, so they may not have an application for another 2 weeks, right? So this is an opportunity. It's a real fair way. Be in the top 64. We're going to be posting those points soon. And then you can see the elimination there. We advance every 10 days after that. Every 10 days, we cut the field in half until we have the Elite Eight, special prizes for them. Then the Final Four, even more special for them. Then the Final Two, the biggest there. And then number one national champ, not only bragging rights, but the best prizes. How do you earn points? It's real simple. Stick with me on the left. I'll go to the example in a minute. Number one is you get 5 points for every new personally enrolled broker that you introduce. 5. If they become certified, you get 50. Now look at the picture. The 3 individuals, the 2 in green got certified, 50 points each. The 1 in red did not, only 5 points, right? So you'd have 105 points there. Now let's look at the other thing. New completed funding application, 50 points. You see that little square box up there in the right? It says application, 50 points. Just for getting a completed app, you got 50 points. Now, did it fund? If it funds, you get more points. How many? Well, if it's a Bank Breezy larger funding, you get 10% of the bonus revenue. Whatever the bonus revenue is, you get 10%. So in this case, let's say they got it, that funding did 5,000 bonus revenue. Maybe it was a $60,000 funding. It produced 500 points in the contest. So that person would have a total of 655 points. How? Well, Look what it says there on the bottom. Joe enrolled 3 brokers, 2 certified, 50 points each, 1 uncertified, 5 points. He submitted 1 application, 50 points, and the client funded for 75 grand, producing 5,000 bonus revenue for 500 points. That was all total 655 points. Do you see that? Okay, that's how you get points. So new brokers, yes. Certified brokers times 10. New application, yes. Funded plus 10% of bonus revenue, a lot more points. And if it's a giggle funding, you get an extra 50. Doesn't matter what the funding amount is, it's just 50 points. All right. Now, that's the first way. The second way you earn points is team bonus points. Let's say you're the enroller in this case. You enrolled Joe. You get half of whatever points Joe got for his personal production. That's the summary. So brokers earn additional points by supporting their team. So anyone you personally enrolled after the 15th, they only the new ones that are in the tournament, you get 50% of any personal production points they generate. So in this example, if you were the one who enrolled Joe, he already got 655 points, right? In personal production, you'd get half of that, or 327.5 team points you'd get. So that's how many points you have plus your personal production. That's how you get points. We'll be going through this in a minute. Again, the qualification period is January 15th through February 28th, top 64, going to the March Madness leaderboard, special recognition, etc. And then every 10 days we eliminate. We're going to go through a special strategy and funding special in about 20 minutes. I'll be going through that. I don't know who's going to win the national championship, but I'm certainly excited that someone's going to. And I don't know that it'll be me. I don't think it'll be me. But many of you think it'll be you, and you should. And if you don't, start thinking it could be you, right? But be in the top 64, then you got a chance. And your points accumulate all the way to the end. You start strong, you finish strong. All right. With that, we're going to move from the announcements and special funding prize over to our funding pro, Mr. Wade Cordell. If you could please unmute yourself, turn your video on. Tyler or Sharon, if you can maybe make him a co-host, bring him in. I think he's already a co-host. You with us? You with us, Wade?
I
There
am
he
here.
is,
How you
dude.
doing, man?
Looking good, buddy. Looking good.
Hey, it's been a long day. Just got in about 1 hour ago, and I'm ready to talk.
All right, well, bring it. What do you got
Okay,
for us tonight?
listen, guys. If you're new in this industry, and or maybe you've been in it for a minute, you've got 1 or 2 contracts with lenders already. You're going to fail. You got 2 or 3 contracts with lenders. You're going to fail. You got 4 or 5 contracts with lenders. You're going to fail. And let me tell you why you're going to fail, because you don't have the Bank Breezy platform as stability. David talked about, no one lender is good for every client. It takes a village to be successful in this industry. We have put together what I think is one of the most incredibly ingenious plans for your success that's ever been put together. And most of the lenders we're talking to feel the same way. Let me tell you what takes place behind the scenes. An application is received. The first thing that happens is before the underwriters ever look at this, we have to check a bunch of things. Number one, we check the name on the bank statements and see if they match the application. If you're out doing this yourself, you don't even think to do this. But if it's not correct, it's kicked back. So we fix it. We check the start date. Many people put on the start date the day that they completed the application. It's going to be killed because you can't start today and as a started company today and get funded. You have to get the correct start date. We're going to look at the business bank accounts. Is it a individual or business bank accounts? You got to look at that. We're going to see if all the owners signed the application. We're going to look at the ITN number versus EIN. Do they have it all correct? If it's an ITN, that means they're not a U.S. citizen. Do they have a U.S. Permanent resident card? Do they have a U.S. passport? All of this is taking place behind the scenes. Are there PO boxes? If they're PO boxes, it's not going to work. We're going to have to fix all that. What are the revenues? We got to check the bank statements. Are there too many NSFs? Or too many negative days? We got to check all of that. We're doing all this in minutes, not hours, for you. Then it enters our waterfall system. Is it a lender going to be looking at this first? We got to look at the FICOs. We got to look at all those different aspects of what takes for an A lender to approve this. Then we got to look at, is this a B lender file? Could it be one of both? Is it a high risk lender file? We then have to look at what's going to determine the rates. Is it going to be a core rate? Is it going to be a flex rate? This is all determined by the lender, but we have to help fix this file so it looks as pretty as it possibly can, kind of like going on a date. Then we want to go and we want to look at the amount of revenue. Who wants that kind of revenue? How are we going to get better buy rates? What determines all that? We know that FICO determines it. We know that the revenue determines it. We know that the number of NSFs determine it. We know if you got multiple positions, what is that going to do for it? Who's going to give you the best offer there? We're going to look at the daily balances. Who wants this daily balance? Who wants that daily balance? Do they have a default? If so, it's going to be kicked out. Who can we get to look at this? We're going to look at, are they on lowered payments? We're able to look at the bank statements and tell all this. We're going to be then checking all their background. All this is taking place in minutes, not hours. And then the underwriter is going to determine this by the information that we help gather. They're going to determine what the terms are going to be by number of positions and what the revenue is. They're going to be looking at FICO. They're going to be looking at all the amounts that they have on a daily basis at the end of each day. They're going to look at how many times did you submit this application to all these other lenders. There's all free information out there that they're looking at. They're going to look at what exactly does this client want to do with it. We're already found out all that. We're telling the underwriters what they're going to use this for. We are able to, once we've spoken to the underwriters, we're able to talk to them about stage funding. Hey, this person wants 100,000. They're not going to qualify, but for 25,000. How do we approach this with the small business person to meet his goals by giving him stage funding, explaining what that means, becoming a client in good standing? These are all the things that we're doing behind the scenes. Then when the contracts come out, we're going to make sure they're signed by all parties. We're going to make sure the bank verification has been completed. Is there going to be a funding call? Is it an A lender? Is it a B lender? Is it a high risk lender? What are they going to do with that file? What do we need to do on our part to make it simple? Then we're going to look at all the steps that they may require. Are they going to need proof of ownership? All this is taking place and being done by the Bank Breezy team for you. And then once we got everything cleared, signed, sealed, delivered, we get the deal funded. So, David, I just wanted to let them know to get a quick glimpse of what we're doing on our side. It's not about just getting an application in, it's about thoroughly understanding what that small business person has in their mind when they submit this and making sure we got all the answers that we already know the questions are going to be asked for those answers. Let's get all the answers to those questions the underwriter's going to have ahead of time. So many times we get a file and before we ever submit it, we've already got their tax returns, the P&L, the balance sheets, because we know they're looking for $1 million. We got to be able to substantiate that $1 million, or we're going to be laughed at. We're going to look really silly. You can't be successful in this industry unless you've got a plan put together like this. And I'm really proud to be part of this.
Rock on, buddy. Hey, let me ask you a follow-up. Thanks for all you do, by the way. A lot of the clients, I know all the juggling that takes place in a lot of the clients. Some flow through perfectly, and we wouldn't have those applications without the brokers referring them. And yet, many of our applications, we wouldn't have funding without your team and their expertise and your expertise that help move things through and help the underwriters who are moving quick. I mean, a lot of these underwriters are looking at a lot of packages quick, and many times you help them relook at something, and we appreciate that. You're irreplaceable, and I know you're training up some other people, but we appreciate everything you're doing that you've done and what you're doing. I want to just ask one thing. What do you think the biggest cause of a funding that's been accepted by the client and they sign the contracts and they send it in and they're going into that final stage where they have to do a funding call to make sure they haven't taken money recently or the sales didn't decline, because we don't have their current bank statements. We only have last month's bank statements. So we don't have, it's the 12th of the month. We don't have these 12 days. We just have the bank statement that ended last month. What would you say is the number one reason, or even the top three reasons a business will still be declined in that final funding call?
Three of the top reasons are: number one, they have taken money during that period of time. Like today, today is the third, so we don't really have those problems right now. When it comes around the 15th or the 20th or the 25th of the month, we got to worry about, well, not worry, but we got to make sure and talk to that client. And sometimes they won't be truthful with us, but we have to find out, did you take funding? Because I know if they took funding and it shows up and I didn't tell that underwriter that, it's an automatic decline. The second thing is they're negative in their bank account. We educate everybody and we ask them up front, are you negative? Tell me the truth, because if you are, we're not going to submit this right now for funding to do the bank verification. Go make it positive. And the third biggest reason is probably that the client doesn't listen to what we tell them when it comes to educating them on what to say. These underwriters are great people, but they're not your friend when it comes to you being the client. They're there to get as much information as they can. And so many times a client will say some things like, hey, even jokingly, they'll say, I'm gonna just take this money and I think I'm gonna take about a month off. Well, that just killed the deal, even if you're joking, because they're recording everything that's there. But the number one reason really is negative bank days, being negative in your bank account, having a lot of negative days. But here's the great thing about this: if you are a good file, and we've done our job on the front end, and you're an A lender, we don't do bank verifications. They don't do funding calls. It's all online funding. You say yes, I want it. You sign it. It's done.
Okay.
And but those are the reasons.
So if I'm, and I know you guys do this, but if I'm out in the field and I'm a broker and I'm talking to my client, the things that I'm pre-qualifying for are your sales going down this month? Over like last 3 months, you've been averaging 50,000. Are your sales in line with what you've done over the last few months? That's how I ask it. They're a little bit off. Oh, are they down? Because if they're down, that causes a concern. It's okay if we tell them. We report everything. If Wade knows this, if Wade's team knows this, like you said, if you're honest, I sat in his office and I saw someone that was negative, and they said, I'll be negative for 4 more days. And Wade and the underwriter said, call us back next Monday when you're no longer negative, we'll fund you then. I mean, literally, because they were honest. Because they were honest. So pre-qualify, right? Pre-qualify NSFs, pre-qualify declining sales, and pre-qualify currently negative, and if you took more funds, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you, buddy. Appreciate
And
it.
one last thing, and we love working with your clients, and we respect them, and we know that everybody has their own reasons. We get, if we get talked to pretty roughly sometimes because of what they thought they heard from the broker or what they thought they were going to get. A lot of times, it's the reason we want brokers to let us do our job is because the brokers can get emotional, and when they're on the call with us with clients, they have a tendency sometimes to say, "Well, wait, can't you do this or can't you do that?" It's better to let us do what we do best. And when the small business person calls you back and said, "Hey, I wanted this, not that," don't tell them, hey, I'm going to call you. You should have gotten that. You deserve it, because that's why I went through so much to show you all of these factor in. And finally, if you're in this industry alone, you can't be successful. It's impossible to be successful in this industry without a system like David Allen Capital and the Bank Breezy funding platform. It literally is impossible. I've been doing this 10 years. I know it. You cannot be successful unless you're part of something big like we're doing. Thanks. I appreciate you letting me talk.
And we're only getting bigger and better, right? We're expanding the team. Thank you, Wade. Appreciate it, buddy. Well, listen, We're very grateful and thankful because as Wade and I talk about, I worry about the front of the house, he worries about the back. It's like a restaurant. Someone's out front, someone's in the kitchen. Wade's in the kitchen with his team, and the team is getting larger and larger. And of course, I step in there all the time and want to taste the food, right? I'm an analytical guy, so I like to look at the processes and make sure we're always asking, what can we do to improve for you guys? And but in the end, we have an automated system with manual with live bodies talking to the people, which is so much better because those live bodies can make things happen and they help understand things. So with that, let's move on. We've got another superstar with us right now. If you guys can get Ellen Wynn ready. Ellen is going to be going through a section with us about timing. And Ellen has been with us now for, well, I don't know how many years. It's got to be going on 7, 8 years, maybe 9. And she's been our a broker of the month many times. She's been service star when we had those incentives. And I know been top 10 recruiter and customer getter many times. And I know that she's going to be shooting for the national championship title as well, the first ever. But we all get to benefit from her leadership. We all get to benefit from her knowledge. She's successful outside of DAC. She was a successful entrepreneur before she met DAC. She's got a successful business outside of DAC, a couple of them. And then she joined DAC, and now she's got a successful business with us and leads many of you. And we're proud of her leadership. Ellen Wynn, what do you got for us today, Ellen?
Hey, David, thank you for that wonderful introduction. It is an honor and a privilege to be one of your guest speakers tonight. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. And I know right now we have a lot of guests still on the line. So I want to speak to you guys that are here, taking a look at DAC and trying to determine if this is a good fit for you or not. One, I want to go back to some of the comments that David made and Wade made. David, you were talking about March Madness and, not being sure whether you can do it or not. Go back to the old saying of, if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're exactly right. So just think about that, right? It's what your mind is made up to do, whether you're going to be a winner or whether you're going to be a loser. And my motto here with DAC is always to stick and stay. Make a decision to get started. And then when you do make that decision, you're going to go through a roller coaster of good times and bad times, but always make that decision to not quit. Believe that you can, know that you can, and DAC will be here in the long haul. I've been with DAC since June of 2018, so 7.5 years. I've seen a lot of growth and a lot of positive changes over the years, but one thing that has not changed from day one, and that is the integrity of our leadership. I'm here because of David Rutz and the story that you just heard tonight. That message resonated loud and clear with me when I first heard the business opportunity presentation, because I had been that business owner in my previous life as a restaurateur who was trying to grow and expand my business, moving from one location to opening a second location. I couldn't get all the money that I needed from my local bank. I ended up pulling money out of my 401k, never paid that back to myself, paid extra penalties. The list goes on of why DAC and this funding opportunity resonated with me. But back to the integrity and the leadership. David spoke with that same passion and vision for the company in 2018 when I first heard this message as he speaks today. His vision has just gotten larger, but his heart is larger as well. So you're in the right place with the right company if you decide that you want to be in the funding space, okay? Now, on what Wade was sharing with you a few minutes ago, talking about having agreements with other lenders and not having the Bank Breezy platform. I know your head was probably spinning listening to everything that Wade was sharing about what goes into the underwriting process, right? Well, the beautiful thing is, because we have David Allen Capital in the system here with Bank Breezy, you don't have to do any of that. It's all done for you. That team over there, they're working hard. We're out here just simply connecting, finding those business owners that are in need of the working capital that DAC has to offer, making that connection. And then once your client starts that application process and completes that application, moves on through, then our professional funding team over on Wade's side of the house is taking that and moving forward with your client. yes, you can encourage your client if they're not communicating with the lending team and they're having a difficult time getting in touch with your contact. We want you to be that liaison and encourage them to make that call back, or the team's trying to call you or you're not responding to emails. You want to do that because you have the relationship, but everything else is handled. And one other thing that's really key for me is being able to do things the right way. And because of their expertise, which again, Wade just blows us away with his knowledge and experience, right? They know the ins and outs of the laws and regulations in every single state in this country. So Wade's reference to other lenders that are in this space, and there are dozens of them, and there's some really shady companies out there. There's some that are probably pretty good and pretty decent, but I compare them all to DAC and the Bank Breezy team, and none of them stack up to what we have here. But in that space, when you're a broker with us, you don't have to worry about getting into trouble with anything. You simply stick to the referral side, you make the connection, and our in-house team is dealing with all of the things where there are loopholes in the law, and this state has this requirement and that state has another requirement. You don't have to know any of that. You just have to know the basics that we teach you through the certification. So don't let all of the details that we get into here on these trainings sometimes, don't let that scare you away. We just want you to understand that we really know what we're talking about here. David introduced me talking about other businesses, and I was just smiling from ear to ear earlier today because you know what? It's tax time, right? And every day I go to my mailbox, I've got a 1099 coming in. I haven't received a W-2 from an employer in years because I've been self-employed since 1997. And as I collect a 1099 from this income stream and a 1099 from this income stream, it makes me so proud to have the DAC opportunity. And I so want what I have for you guys that are on here tonight. Some of you have probably far exceeded what I'll ever do in an income like this, income opportunity like this. But I know that what I have, many of you have not achieved yet. But I'll finish that with yet, because if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're exactly right. So again, it goes back to your mindset, right? But those 1099s coming in and knowing that I have multiple streams of income is an incredible security net for me. So think about yourself today. Maybe you're looking at DAC as an opportunity and you're going, well, I don't know. I don't have enough time between my job and what I'm already doing to put any efforts into DAC. Look, buddy, you don't have time to not do that. If you only have one income stream right now, and you have a job or you have one single business, and that's the only way that you're making money, what would happen if that business went away or that company went away or they decided to lay you off or fire you? What would happen to your income there? And that's why I think it's so incredibly important to be able to build a business like DAC has to offer. There's no investment required. We provide all the training, we provide all the support. You'll get leaders like me that are out here happy to talk about DAC for hours and hours upon end, but we're here to help you succeed. So find a way to have that additional income stream coming in. We hope that DAC is going to be the fit for you. I'll finish up with what I said my topic was, and that is timing is everything. You know, we talk about promoting the business opportunity. We talk about promoting funding and getting in front of business owners. We know that 9 out of 10 business owners don't qualify to get funding from their bank. And the majority of those business owners are going to need funding sometime this year, right? But the conversation that you have today may not fall on the ears of the person that needs that funding today, but we're planting seeds in the process. So timing is everything. It goes back to building the business as well. When I first saw DAC, it hit me just perfect. That resonated with me. But I have a couple of stories that I'll share quickly before I pass it to our next presenter, or pass it back to David. And one is the day that I saw DAC, I had just been invited to like a Facebook page of a friend of mine that I've known for years. He's a business builder, has been doing B2B sales and so on. And earlier that day, he had sent me a request to like his Facebook page. Well, I had already gone through and taken a look at it and read through and saw that he was in B2B services still. And then when I saw DAC, my eyes just lit up. I was excited about what I had in front of me, and I had an opportunity that I could introduce other brokers. So I quickly went back to my friend Glenn and I sent him a message and said, "Hey Glenn, you asked me to like your Facebook page earlier, which I did. And as I was reading through, I see that you're in B2B services. I was just introduced to a service that might be a great fit for what you're currently doing. Are you open to taking a look at it?" And he responded back through Facebook Messenger and he said, "Sure, what you got?" I sent him the link, the David Allen Capital partner page that you guys are all going to have, right? I sent him that link and he went in, watched the presentation, and 30 minutes later, I was on the phone with him. He had all these questions. I connected him with my enrollment team, and they started answering questions. And before the day was out, we had David Rutz on the phone answering questions. And boy, was I sold, hook, line, and sinker. So timing was right on that one. And that led me to having one of the largest teams in the company, because my first 30 days in the business, I had over 300 brokers join my business, mainly because I had one conversation with one person that timing was right for. Now, I have another person in my team. She's on here tonight, Harlequin Murray. Harlequin has one of the largest teams in my group. And when I first talked to Harlequin about the DAC opportunity, timing was not right for her. She had a lot of things going on in life. And she looked at it and she said, "Ellen, I appreciate you thinking of me. Timing's not right now." And she explained what was going on. I said, "I get it. No big deal. I thought of you, and I know that this is right up your alley, being professional services, and want to give you an opportunity. I'd love to work with you if things ever change." Well, a year later, timing was right, and we reconnected. And she said, "Are you still doing that funding business that we talked about last year?" And I'm going, "Absolutely." So timing is everything when it comes to people seeing the opportunity or having a need for the funding. And back to the final thing, that stick and stay. How many times have you had someone over the years introduce you to something, and then a year later you ask them, "Are you still doing that?" And they're going, "No, I'm not doing that anymore." They're off to something else. Don't be that person.
Right.
Don't be that person. Get involved with DAC, stick and stay, and be that person that when you're asked 5 years down the road, "Are you still doing that funding thing with David Allen Capital?" And you go, "Absolutely," or "Heck yeah, I'm still here." So I'm going to be the one that's here 5 years down the road, and I am coming after you, buddy, on the March
Hey,
Madness promotion. All right. That's all I
I
have
love
for
it.
everyone. Thanks so much.
I love it. Hey, I was making my list today. I'm like, I got to get in that top 64. I got to get in that top 64. Ellen, thank you so much for everything you've been for our company, for all the years, all the leadership calls you've done, personal game plans you've done, Monday night Zoominars you've done. You've been leading, and there's no way I could ever understand all of it because I'm not with you every day, but I've lived it. I've lived it myself, so I know what you're doing and I appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. I know you'll be working on slides all the way up until you're doing the Zoom while other people are worried about having dinner before Zoom. And you're making sure the presentation's ready and the speakers are ready. And then you're taking calls till wee hours the night after it because there's always someone who wants to talk to you. And you just do whatever it takes to lead. And that's what happens when you have a big team and you're helping people that aren't in your team too. And we know it, we see it, we appreciate it. And I'd love nothing more for you to be the runner-up in the national championship this year.
Runner up behind you, of course, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I
But
got you.
I wouldn't mind being the runner-up behind you as well. Hey, with that, we've got another superstar on right now. I invited Nick earlier and I said, "Hey, we'd love if you would participate." And he said, "I'm focused on promoting, but I'll be there. I'm going to stay focused on promoting, but I'll be there." And that's what I love is he's living it. He's not just showing up tonight. He's using what we all say. This is a special event. Let's use a special event to approach new brokers and to inspire existing brokers to stick and stay and maybe step in and play. And Nick's doing that. Nick is a great example. If you guys could feature Nick DeHame for us, he's going to be covering some information on relationships and follow up and such, but he's a pro at it. Nick, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate you jumping on with us today. If you could, there you go. You're unmuted. If you could,
Yes, sir.
you're loud and clear. Beautiful. Want to
All
make sure we
right.
can hear you. Okay, I'll take it away, my friend. Appreciate you being here.
Hey, can you, am I
Another
coming out?
broker of the month. Another person who's won that many times. Top recruiter again this month. Putting up a lot of points in the challenge. It's gonna be it's gonna be a showdown. It's gonna be a showdown. Go ahead, buddy.
Yes, it is. Am I coming out clear, David?
Loud and clear. Look good.
Am I coming out live on time? All right, awesome.
You're
awesome.
good. Yeah, it's all sinking in good.
Perfect. All right. So how can I say no to that invitation, David? How can I say no? It's an honor and a privilege to have some time and be a part of this special event and be a part of this moment all together with brand new brokers, brokers that are taking a look at this opportunity, potential brokers that are taking a look at this opportunity for the first time, and seasoned brokers, right? And this is a family, it's a community, and it really, truly is an honor, David, and a privilege to have some time to speak, spend some time with you guys tonight, share something I think is of great value to everyone, new brokers, potential brokers, seasoned brokers. But, you know, following Ellen, how can you not get pumped up? And she's just right on, stick and stay. You can see with her experience how she's been able to adjust and adapt all her knowledge and systems and processes into DAC, and that's why she has such a successful business and organization. And as you can see, this business and this opportunity attracts everyone, not only for those who have experience with B2B or potentially have been business owners in the past, such like Ellen and David and many other brokers, where they can relate to business owners in need of what we do, in need of working capital to grow their business. They understand that their options are limited. And for many brokers or new brokers that maybe were never a business owner in the past, or, you know, or just graduated college, or just simply have never been an entrepreneur or in that space in B2B, B2C, or in sales at all. This system that DAC and David has created, and all the trainings in place and all the leadership, you can be that person with zero experience and come out to be one of the top brokers and one of the top leaders in the company. And I'm speaking from personal experience because I was that person. I never ran my own business. I was never felt comfortable with the job. I can relate to that, and that's what's needed in this space, right? That entrepreneur, that hungry, that ambition, that wanting and ambition to succeed and create something meaningful and impactful. And I've always felt that, but I never started my own business. And ever since I graduated high school, I was in sales and you know, in the corporate space. And really, when I came across DAC, I was never had any relationships with business owners, spoken to business owners, nothing at all. And I come to say all of this because I joined DAC and I went through the processes. I went through the systems. I went through the trainings. I saw David's leadership, his passion, his vision, and I was sold. I saw the opportunity right up front, but I never had that capability to relate with businesses up front, such like Ellen could right off the bat, or any other broker that has been a business owner or dealt with businesses, right? So it took a little time through conversations and stories, testimonials, where I could see and start to understand the back end of what a business owner was really going through. So I'm saying all this because if you are that broker, that brand new broker, you're just getting started, maybe you have not even enrolled yet, and you're that person that has not started a business, maybe you can't even imagine what a business owner goes through. We're mentioning now, but you have very few experience in the B2B space, B2C space, or sales at all. you can grow into something that you have never imagined you're capable of. And that's what I love about DAC. You can start from scratch and all the systems are in place, the trainings are in place, the leadership, the community. And through activity and experience, you are going to begin to understand more and more and be more confident and gain confidence and understand what businesses are going through and be able to adapt what you've learned through training and communicate that to those business owners and receive reception right off the bat. And that is only going to continue to build your confidence. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's a great example to follow what Ellen was saying herself as that business owner, right? And her understanding the process. And to all of those that have that experience, you're going to do phenomenal here. And Ellen is an example of that. And for all of you that have not had experience yet or have never been a business owner, you can take this and transform it into something you've never imagined, something that can set you free financially. And that is what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing. And that's what I am going to do. So I just want to show you that it is possible. I have a growing team and I've throughout time secured and helped several businesses just through experience. And I love what Ellen says. She always says it, stick and stay, because if you stick and stay long enough, you're going to see what this turns into, what this grows into, and you're going to reap the benefits from staying. And what I say, and what I've said this from the day when I started, because I committed and I said, this is going to be this is the business I'm going to turn into, capable of retiring me at a certain age. And I'm going to do that. And my motto is, if you never quit, you cannot lose. If you never quit, you cannot lose. So if you just keep going and you keep getting up and you keep trying and keep taking action and keep having those conversations and keep networking and keep growing your team and keep growing your team and keep speaking to business owners and keep speaking to business owners, application declined, keep speaking to business owners, application declined, keep speaking to business owners, application funded, submitted, funded, new team broker, application declined, new team broker, boom, big funding. You reap the benefits, right? You keep going, you keep sticking in. Your team starts to grow. It starts to expand. If you never quit, you cannot lose. So what is your goal? What do you want from this? What is your reason why to succeed? And write it down. Be clear with that. And if you never quit in this business, you're going to achieve it. And that's what I'm doing. This is not even what I was going to speak about, but Ellen inspired me. David inspired me. And I just wanted to touch on real quick what I was going to speak on, David, is the relationship game. And this is a simple application I used. It's the structure, framework, and system I use that to successfully establish relationships and to secure clients along the way throughout time. And it's simple. It's in the training. It's meet, greet, and inform. We're here to establish those relationships. We have to get known. We have to let our communities know who we are and how we can help them. So we're talking about business owners here, right? So we meet, greet, and inform. We start that relationship and we want them to know who we are. We follow that with staying present. This is a simple framework, but it's successful, it works, but you have to be consistent with it, right? So you stay present throughout time. How do you stay present? You follow up. You check, you circle back with that business owner. You stay organized from the day one you had the first conversation. You understand, you detail what that conversation went through. You know who that business owner is, you know the name, and you follow up, you circle back, you walk in, you support their business. You show them that you have a genuine interest, not only to help them with funding, but to support their business, refer them, promote them, share their post on social media. You continue to do this throughout time. And it's funny how Ellen spoke about timing, because timing, she said this with the clients, with securing personal clients, it's the same thing, right? Most businesses may not have a need for funding right now, but the truth is most of them will at some point. So with this framework and this system, you're guaranteeing those relationships to strengthen throughout time, and you're building trust with these prospects, with these business owners. And it comes a time where that business owner knows exactly who you are by your name, by your face, if you're able to walk in personally and speak with them. And throughout time, what's going to happen is when they have a need for funding to grow and expand their business, to open a second location, to fuel an upcoming project, to take advantage of an opportunity, implement a strategy and idea to grow their profits, guess who they're going to be calling? And what's that? The competitive advantage here is that relationship you've established against all those boiler rooms, against all those people calling. You showed your commitment throughout time to that business owner where they now have created that trust with you. They like you, they trust you, and they're going to give you a shot when that need comes up. And not only that, they may never, there's some businesses that may never have a need for funding, but guess what? You've established that trust by circling back, following up, letting them know, reaching out with a reason, right? A reason why, supporting their business. And there's going to be a time where they're talking to their business owner, buddy, and friend. And their business owner, buddy, and friend is saying, hey, I went to the bank, I'm trying to open this location. I need the funds really bad. Guess who that business owner, your contact, is going to be referring them to? They're going to be referring them to you, right? So the goal is establishing that relationship. Even though there are local businesses in your community, that first relationship, that's still a cold relationship. They really don't know who you are and what you're about, right? So you want to establish, make that first impression. And throughout time, that cold relationship will become a warm contact. And throughout time, you're going to build that book of business contacts, and they're going to be all warm contacts where you can reach out to them periodically. They're going to be willing to speak to you. You can share anything you would like with them because you have earned their trust. And I share that because I thought this was important because I recently had last month a client, which was a coffee shop. And I spoke to this guy 2 years ago. And it really touched me because he left a review on Trustpilot recently, 6 days ago. And he laid out exactly the process I'm talking about of what made the difference between anyone that called him for funding from outside lenders to what made the difference of me periodically reaching out really with a genuine interest, establishing that relationship, getting to know his business. And throughout time, when the timing wasn't right, he made it clear. I said, respectfully, I understand. Just know that I'm always here if or when something comes up. And on holidays, I would send out a genuine message wishing him the best. I got to know when his birthday was, so I'd make sure to send him a birthday wish. But 3 just genuine touches, just reaching out and letting him know that, hey, I'm the real deal. I'm the real guy here. And I really want to help you if or when that happens. And the time came and he gave me a call and we spoke. He submitted the application and we got him the funds he needed to open up his second location. And he was grateful. And he sent me a text thanking me how happy and grateful he is that myself and our Bank Breezy team were able to help him secure the funds he needed to help his family, his business, and himself. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to share. It came from the heart, nothing scripted. I hope it helped.
That's awesome. You know what's funny, Nick? Don't go away yet. Folks, everything you heard him say, some of you are fairly new. Maybe this first time you've heard a lot of this, and he's spot on. The funding training talks about it. The huddles talk about it. He talks about it. You know the difference? He lives it. The difference between him and most is he actually lives it. He doesn't say, I'm going to get his birthday so I can try to earn a commission. Just like you don't find out your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband or your wife's or your son's or your daughter's birthday so that you can get favor points by saying happy birthday on the right day. You do it because you genuinely care. You do it because it just happens to come up and you're genuinely interested, right? And you're genuinely, I sent a text out to someone earlier today because they've got a big presentation tomorrow that they told me about a couple weeks ago. Just like I'll send my son something or I'll send one of you something. It's just common sense, right? But he lives it. So Nick, thank you, buddy. Thanks for all you shared. I'm going to go in supersonic speed here. Grab a notepad, everybody. I'm going to the whiteboard. I wanted to be done by 9:40 and I've got a 10-minute session. So we're going to go, unfortunately, it's 9:50. I'm going to keep it under 10 minutes and then we're going to go to your questions. That way you can leave if you want to leave. I was hoping you get 20 minutes of questions by 10, but that's all right. We have great content. Sometimes you don't know how long something's going to take to talk about. A lot of good stuff was covered tonight. Great nuggets, take it and live with it and win with it. All right. I'm going to go to the whiteboard. Someone on Blur. I said earlier today that we would give you a little strategy, income and growth strategy to actually win the championship as well. Because if you do this, you'll earn a lot of income, you'll grow your business, and you'll get a lot of points toward the championship. So it serves all sources if you can. All sources serve the same thing. Keep in mind, these are your points for the tournament. You get a new broker after the 15th, 5 points. Help them get certified, it becomes 50 because you get another 45. Get a completed application, 50 points. They turn into funding, you get 10% of whatever the bonus revenue is added to that. If it's a giggle, it's just 50, right? So you get 100. A giggle client that gets funded is 100 points. Doesn't matter what the funded amount is. A completed app and giggles, 50 points. Completed app, Bank Breezy, 50. Funding, 10% more bonus revenue, right? So that's your personal points. We're tracking them. We actually have a way we think we're going to be able to do it live daily and post daily, I should say. It won't be live numbers. If you put an app in right now, it shows up immediately. We can get some of that, but some of it we can't do live. So it won't be completely accurate, but we're working on some things for that. But we want you to have real-time statistics, at least daily. So we're working through that, and we're near it. So this is the points, right? Now, what does this come from again? Here's you. This is you getting brokers. This is brokers getting certified, right? This is you getting clients. We'll say that's a business instead. You getting clients, that's an office. Applications, and then turn into funding. This is how you earn money with our business, right? You make an impact for that business owner. That business owner could be your neighbor, could be someone you went to school with years ago. Inform. I ran into someone today at a coffee shop way in another side of town where I was meeting with someone else. And they said, what have you been up to? I haven't talked to them in 20 years. And I said, I'm in business funding. I'm just here having a meeting. We're meeting with a bank. You're kidding. We need to talk about that. She owns her own practice. Give me your card. Just happen to stumble into her, right? So you never know you're going to talk to, but you refer, and you meet, greet, and inform, as Nick said. But this is what you do. And if you help this person help a funding clients, it's a business. They earn more money. This business gets money, and you earn override, right? You earn pay. So this is how you earn, by getting clients yourself or building a team of people who get clients. Now, if these people introduce brokers, and they help someone get a funding down here, you can earn on it, right? You can earn on this. You got to qualify for it. You don't automatically get it because it's not level 1. You may not get an override spread, but you can earn on this, right? So what we want you focused on, your growth strategy, is just like someone who is in the real estate business. If they want to own a bunch of rental properties, you say you're mindful of your properties that you recruit, that you build. So if it's you and you want to have a bunch of real estate properties, rental properties, you look at where you want to have them, how much rent you're going to charge, what do they cost to maintain, the legal costs, all that. But if you build the portfolio over time, you earn. Or you may say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to buy stock certificates, right? This is a stock certificate. And I want to buy shares, 100 shares of this, and 1,000 shares of that, and 50 shares of this. And I hope it goes up over time. I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to sell it later on in life when they're worth a lot more because the stock market grows. Okay, you're an investor. Great. Those are all success models, but I'm going to show you what I believe is the best success model out there. In fact, a lot of wealthy people will tell you, be a founder of a company that you take public, or be an entrepreneur of a new technology that you make super successful, take all that risk, or start a home-based company where you can build your own agency. It's low risk, high revenue potential. You all could become millionaires in our business. Most won't. I'm not being pie in the sky. But I've recruited people who become millionaires, right? So I know it's possible. All of you could. That doesn't mean you will, but you can. So the wealth principle here, it's just real simple. Will you do what Nick said to do? Will you do what Ellen said to do? Will you do what Wade said to do? Will you do what Matt says to do in the huddles? And McGuire says, will you go meet with your chamber? Will you meet with the banks? So here's what it boils down to. Here's prerequisites to succeed with us. Your success model is just this. You build a team of brokers. A good team of brokers. You don't stop until you have a good team of personally enrolled brokers. You're always recruiting new brokers. You never stop recruiting brokers. The Michigan Wolverines are always recruiting new quarterbacks. So is Alabama. So is this company and this company and this company. And every college team in the country is recruiting quarterbacks every year, 4 or 5 of them, and they never stop. And there's thousands of other colleges doing the same thing. And guess what? There's thousands of people trying to recruit into brokerage positions, real estate and insurance. And of course, that doesn't mean you quit. That means you stick and you stay and you get in the game and play. And when you do, you get to make a massive impact, and the impact you make will determine what you earn. If you make a big impact because you impact a lot of clients, you're going to earn a lot more. If you make a little impact because you don't help a lot of clients, you're going to earn a lot less. If you help a lot of brokers succeed by introducing, training, encouraging, pointing them in the right direction, getting them certified, moving them through the process, helping them see about these contests, understanding the process, if you help them and you recruit the right brokers, you're going to have a lot of brokers do well. If you have a lot of brokers do well, you're going to earn overrides. You're going to do real well. If you have no brokers do well, you won't make anything. So what do you have to do? You have to be a little bit more qualifying in the brokers you recruit. You got to look for the best brokers. You got to look for people who are not afraid to talk to people. You got to look for people who are willing and determined to make an impact. You got to look for people who believe in our funding. And when they believe in our funding, they're willing to share that belief because they know it's needed. They're not going to doubt debt. They're not going to doubt the cost. They're not going to doubt how many get approved. And why is this? And why is that? Whiners don't make it in any business. You can find them anywhere. I can show you what to whine about in real estate, in business funding, in mortgages, in AI. I can show you what to whine about at General Motors, at Chrysler, at Ford. Where do we want to talk about? Do we want to whine about being employed by DAC? I got plenty of those too. You want to whine about our business funding? I got plenty of things you can whine about. But that doesn't happen in life where you get to make it in areas where there's no whining allowed or no whining available, because there's whining available in every single thing out there. What it comes down to is, are you a whiner or a winner? Take a couple letters out and you're in it. Now, if you've been a whiner, that's okay. We got grace. Stop whining, start winning. If you've been a winner, don't slow down. Otherwise, eventually you'll be whining about it not being the way it used to be, right? So it's an attitude. So when you're going out, you've got 2 strategies. One, right there. Good brokers, a lot of personal ones. 2, good clients, relationships. How much of that did you do today? When I said to Ellen, I was looking at my list today. I got to get this. I'm thinking is, how many more brokers do I got to reach out to this week? How many more clients do I got to get in front of this week? I'm getting in front of a lot of clients right now through networking meetings and chambers and stuff like that. I got to start actually doing a little bit more of that. I'm doing a lot of corporate work. I got to stop doing so much corporate work and do a little more of this wealth creating work. Corporate work just shines up the machine, makes the machine well-oiled. What makes the machine go fast is right here. What makes your income go up? Right here. Good clients, lots of them, and good personally enrolled brokers. And some of them will want to be local leaders. And what are they going to have? Good clients and good personally enrolled brokers. A lot of brokers don't get clients right away, but they're going to. It took me a few weeks before I got my first client. So if you got brokers, I've got to give them a break. Let them go through it as long as they're going through the exercise of talking. Move on. Prerequisites to succeed in this business. You got to have all of these. You're going to be going to do these 2 things. If you want to do these well, you must have these prerequisites. You can't take Gym 103 until you've had Gym 101 and Gym 102 at high school. You can't go into Psychology 400 until you've done Psychology 100, 200, and 300, the prerequisites. You can't succeed at this until you have every one of those prerequisites. Take one away and you'll fail. Take one away, you won't make it. You must have every prerequisite on this board. What are they? Number 1, determination, of course. Willingness, of course. You can have all the knowledge, all the beliefs. You could answer every support question. You could literally help support answer it better. You could understand every comp plan question there is, understand the funding underwriting. You could do all of it, but have no willingness to talk to clients, and you will go broke here. You can have all the willingness and the beliefs and all this, but no determination, and you'll get knocked down every time you have one conversation that doesn't go well because your determination's too weak. So you can have determination, you can have willingness, then you better have the beliefs. Because if you don't believe in our funding, if you don't believe business owners are rock stars, if you don't believe those 6 things, that they're rock stars, you give them money, they'll make great things happen. They can't get access to capital at the banks. We come alongside and help, and we can get them a best offer. Alternative capital is great, but it's not the best for everybody because it depends on what provider they went to. But if they come to us, we're going to get them the best offer. We don't determine the price, but we'll get them the best offer. And now maybe it'll make sense for them. They may get declined at 10 places and approved at 2, and they thought they couldn't get it because they got declined at all those places. Our beliefs, we're here to help them. We're not going to close them. We're going to serve them. We're not going to sell them. We're going to serve them. And then that belief, if you have that, then you do it. You don't do it for the money. You get paid well to do it, but you're doing it because you believe they're needing it, right? Base knowledge of our funding, the pricing, the qualification, what's it cost. You got to have that base knowledge. Knowledge of our system. An app comes in. How many times do I get people asking questions that are in our basic funding training and they've been here 2 years? And I'm like, when's the last time you watched the basic funding training? When I started. You need to watch it every month until you can do it. It's an hour-long training. This is a profession. Do you want to make millions? Do you want to make hundreds? Or do you want to make thousands? You get to choose. But I wrote the training, I record the training, and I bet I watch it more than anybody. And it's me talking because I'm hungry to not lose the edge, right? I want to serve. Are you hungry to know our system inside and out? It's a prerequisite. If you don't know it, you'll look embarrassed when you're talking to clients. You'll always need someone else around when you're talking to clients. When you're starting, that's okay. But get the knowledge of our system. It's in our training. Authenticity. Am I authentic right now? You bet I am. Are you authentic with clients? It doesn't mean mean. Are you being transparently honest with people? Are you being authentic with them? Or are you telling them you can get them something you can't get them? Are you telling them what they want to hear because it's easier to just fib a little bit and hopefully they apply? Or are you just being completely honest and saying, I don't think you qualify for this funding? Or I think you could probably get bank funding. You should probably go to the bank. Are you authentic? Do you really care? Or are you just having commission breath? If you have commission breath, get a job somewhere and have guaranteed income coming in so that you no longer have commission breath, and do this part-time. Do this part-time and build it part-time until you have a big income coming in where you don't need to make a commission next week because you have a lot of revenue coming in from your team and your business is producing a certain amount every month. And that allows you to do this without pressure. If you have pressure that overwhelms, you're not doing it right. Have pressure. It's okay. I got pressure. I want to do better this week. But if I don't not pay my bills, right? So have pressure, just not overwhelming. Be authentic, lead with authenticity. Don't read scripts that you wouldn't write. Don't read scripts that you wouldn't say. Be unsold on the professional way of being a salesperson. Be unconvinced on what you're supposed to say to a client. We give you a template, but in the end, you got to do what you believe in. And you can't tell me to say a script I won't say. I won't do it. In fact, it turns me off if you tell me I have to, because now you're asking me to be something I'm not authentic. You have to be authentic. You got to have a game plan. You got to know what your numbers are that you're trying to reach. You got to then apply the activity you're supposed to have, and you have to have a client understanding and be client focused. Nick just said, I wrote understanding as he said it. He said, it took me a while before I really understood what businesses were going through. So you got to have an understanding what business owners are going through. Otherwise, you're intimidated by them or you sell them. But once you fully understand what they're experiencing and you're focused on helping them rather than yourself, you will come out, they'll judge you and they will use someone else. This right here, banks aren't going to refer you to anyone until they feel you got their clients back. They don't care if you can get them funding. They don't care if you can get them approval. They don't care that you can get them an offer, one-stop best offer. They don't care. This is their client that they've been taking care of for 7 years. And what they don't want is to send them to someone who's in it to make a commission. They want to send it to someone who's in it to make sure they've got something great for that client, or they say no. They're going to represent that bank's client well. And if you don't have this, and you don't have this, and you don't have this, and this, and this, And this, they're not going to refer you to anyone. But as soon as you demonstrate all these prerequisites, they're all simple. You can learn all this by Saturday. Every bit of this you can know by Saturday. Heck, you can know by tomorrow, 100% of it. And you'll have all the prerequisites to succeed here. But these two right here, you got to do. All right. Last thing I'm going to say, I know I've said 10 minutes and I'm already at 11. So let me finish it up. 12, actually. When you're going out to talk, here's the bottom line. Write these down. If you're not already doing these, sorry, got my shirts over there. If you're not already doing these immediately, when? Immediately start. Who in your warm market, people you know, own businesses that you haven't already told, they need to know about it by tomorrow night. I mean, again, willingness and determination. They don't have to. I'm not telling you have to do anything, but this is a plan to create wealth. If you want to make significant income here and it's available, and if you want to go put up points in the tournament, and more importantly, make an impact. I just saw a hardware store in my town closed. It was just on my Facebook page. I have not talked to them about funding. It sickened me that I didn't get to them and inform them of it yet. I literally drive by their house to go to my main town where I do most of my prospecting. I drove right by their place. I don't shop there. I don't use their hardware. It's across the street from a different one, but I didn't tell them about it and they closed. You've got friends who are closing the businesses as soon as their lease is up because they don't have the money to make it grow. I had let that business go. I didn't know. It's like someone had a life jacket and I didn't throw it to them. So it sickens me. It inspires me. I got to talk to more businesses in my vicinity. So who in your warm market? You got to get out there, brokers and clients. Who do you know that you've not approached yet to become a broker? You just got to say, check this out. Let's talk about it. It might be great for you. Check this out. We're looking for some leaders to help lead and develop a local market. Check it out. If you like it, get back to me. Send them the partner page. Send them the 4-minute video. davidallencapital.com/partner. Send it to them. Get their opinion. Send them the 24-minute one. Partner overview. Send them one of them. And just ask them. Go social. Did you follow yet the social media thing that McGuire put together? Have you done it yet? Or do you just attend the social media? I've got to do more of it. I've done more live in the last 4 days than I've done social media. I got to get back my social media going. I've got to set it up, but I'm not being as social as I can. Your local area, your chamber, you in it yet? Join it. Have you talked to the banks yet? Talk to them. Canvassing, covering an area yet? Have you hit an intersection yet? I got to do better at this. But have you done this yet? You got to do it. Text, email, in person, and professional, CPAs, mortgages. Every one of these should be part of your weekly routine. Every one of them should be part of your weekly routine if you want to dominate your local market. Now, you may be saying I'm doing it a different way. You get to. But I'm telling you, this is the way that's working best. This is the way that's working best. So if advertising was the way, we'd be teaching it. We've actually got an advertising agent who just became a broker. And they're doing it all on their own, not charging us a dime. They've been doing it 3 weeks, have not gotten a client. And they're an advertising agency who are pros on Facebook, haven't got one client trying to compete with all the other people advertising. They've got applications, but every application is also applied to 20 other places online. Don't advertise. You're wasting money. We've told that since forever. Don't hire Facebook ads. It doesn't work. I told him that. He's still trying to go for it. You want an advertising company, you go for it. We're not paying you for it. You pay for it yourself. It hasn't worked yet. I hope he makes it work. If so, we'll teach you what he's doing. But he's got 3 weeks and a lot of money spent on ads, and he's an ad age expert, and he hasn't figured it out yet. And meanwhile, we got brand new people getting fundings in the first 4 days because they're talking to someone they know. So if you want to make this happen, and I'm ending with this, you're an employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. How do we go from employee to self-employed? We join DAC. But we're just because we signed an agreement doesn't mean we're self-employed. Self-employed means we're doing these prerequisites. We're doing it. We're living it, so we have a chance of earning income. We're pursuing a profit. If you looked at our day planner, you'd see, yeah, they're pursuing a profit. They actually had some meetings in the business. They actually talked to some clients. They actually met with some brokers. They actually did some stuff. They actually did some more trainings. They're actually doing the business, right? So they're acting like a self-employed person. They're not just signed up, they're being self-employed. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to make some money. And then what's going to happen is you're going to build a team. And as you build a team, eventually you're going to have a great team of brokers. And when you have a great team of brokers, what happens? You have income coming in from them every month. And that's like investment properties. And you've helped develop that and nurture that and grow that. And then eventually you're taking a lot of that money and investing it in other things. But this is a cash cow. This here is a cash cow. And a broker agency producing fundings. But what you got to do is take care of level one. You just focus on level one and identify those who want to be local leaders, sign them up in the local leader journey and let them be local leaders, and then you take care of their level one. Level two will happen, 3, 4, you'll work with them, but just focus on clients, number one, and number two, brokers. Clients, brokers, that's what you focus on. That's it. Now turn it up a notch. Do you have all the prerequisites down? Get them down. Have you already done all this? Start doing it. And with that, you'll start putting up points for the championship. In summary, Spanish Sites Live, Print Shops Live, LMS has got the resources in it now. Bank Breezy continues to rock and roll and grow. We've got your own replicated site at Bank Breezy now. Drop cards are live. Funding special, the trades, every trade you know needs to be reached out to. We said 5 a day. But why wait? Any trades, reach out, find all the trades in your local town, your local chamber, reach out to them, let them know. We put a little thing on there, come up with your own. What do you want to say to inform them? Say it. Follow everything Ellen said, everything Nick said, everything Wade said. Follow everything they said. Make sure you know every one of these prerequisites. Make sure you're already doing this. If not, make that a checklist and do it. Make this a checklist and do it. And then make sure you're focused on each day. Who can I reach out to today to be a new broker? What new broker do I have that I can work with? Who can I reach out to today to meet, greet, and inform about our funding? Meet, greet, and inform about being a broker. Meet, greet, and inform about being funding. Meet, greet, and inform about broker. Funding, broker, funding, broker. And you keep doing that. And eventually, other people are talking about it, thinking about it, reading about it, but you're doing it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to reap the rewards of that. And those who do, this is what they've done. So amplify that up a little bit and success follows. It always does.